The Generation 5 games are unique in the fact that they were the first games that had remakes which introduced new gym leaders. So of course, there are more than 8 gym leaders in the Unova region. Now obviously, we're not going to leave out any of the leaders, so just expect this video to be a bit longer than the previous ones in this series. I should mention, for the gym leaders that are present in Pokemon Black and White, I will be basing their teams off of the ones that they have in those games instead of their Black 2 and White 2 teams. By the way, this is all just my opinion, so if you guys think differently from me, then that's totally fine. Anyways, without further ado, it's time to give every gym leader in the Unova region a brand new team. The trio of leaders that control the Striaton City Gym don't use a specific typing. Chili, Silent, and Cress all have a Lillipup, while their ace is the Elemental Monkey that is super effective on the starter you chose. I like this challenging and unique concept, and both Mons are from Generation 5. So for those reasons, I will not be making any changes to their teams. On the other hand, Charon does not do a good job of having a cool concept or team. I get that he's only the first gym leader, and he only uses normal types, but the developers could have given Charon more interesting Mons than Patrat and a Lillipup. At this point in the game, you've probably seen plenty of these rats and dogs, since they can be found on almost every early route. Because of this, I would eliminate Patrat and a Lillipup, and give him a Pidove and Minccino. Now I know Pidove contradicts what I just said, as it can also be found in the first few routes, but at least it adds another typing to the mix. And yes, I know Charon owns a Pidove in the challenge mode, but for this video's sake, I'm going off of the teams in normal mode. Even though it's a relatively weak Pokemon, it would be interesting to see Minccino as his ace. It still gets access to Work Up, and I feel like Minccino flies under the radar when it comes to normal types in Generation 5. From one bland gym typing to the next, let's take a look at Lenora's team. Oh wait, it's literally Charon's team, but evolved. To be fair, this is Pokemon Black and White, so this might be the first time you're seeing Herdier or Watchog in the game. For that reason, I'll let Lenora keep a Watchog, because it's actually pretty strong. As for Herdier, I would replace it with a Deerling. Don't get me wrong, I love the Lillipup line, but Deerling is part grass, which adds some sort of variety into a gym where it's hard to find any. Roxanne's team could have been pretty cool, but no, Game Freak had to throw on a poison type that we've been seeing since Generation 1. Whirlipede does a great job of being the ace of the team. If only it had some cool team members like Trubbish or Fungus to accompany it. Instead, Whirlipede sadly has to deal with a pretty trash coughing. Sure, Trubbish and Fungus aren't anything amazing. To solve this issue though, give Roxanne both of them. I mean, we don't see a crazy amount of poison type gyms, so when there was a chance for one to stand out, I don't get why the developers kind of ruined it with coughing. Berg's team would have been fine the way it is if I didn't let Roxanne keep a Whirlipede. However, there's a pretty simple solution. This would be taking out Whirlipede and handing Berg a Joltik. The Bug Electric typing is one that I've always thought is really cool. Not to mention, Joltik could counter any flying types that you bring into the battle, and in that case, Maybe it is a bit more of a challenge than Whirlipede, depending on the team you have at this point in the game. Elisa has to be one of the most annoying trainers out of any Pokemon game. All she does is spam a Volt Switch with her stupid Emolgas that paralyze you with their static ability. I really wish I could get rid of both Emolgas, but due to there not being a wide selection of electric types, especially since I just gave Joltik to Berg, I'm only taking out one of Elisa's Emolgas. As a replacement, Electric would come into the picture. But Terraquake, Dynamo doesn't evolve until level 39! Yep, I know that, but let's be real. Dynamo is not going to put up much of a fight in a gym battle, so this is one of those very rare instances where I'm allowing a gym leader to own a quote-unquote illegal Mon. Other than that, the rest of Elisa's team would stay the same. Everyone pay close attention to Clay's team, because he has the perfect example of what a gym leader's Pokemon should look like. He owns 3 really awesome ground types, but all 3 of them have separate second typings. This works out great because ground has a decent amount of weaknesses, but with Clay's Pokemon being part water or steel, it eliminates some of those weaknesses. Now of course, the addition of a second typing brings along some more weaknesses, but I don't care, because all 3 of these Pokemon are sick, and if you dare to think differently, that's totally fine, like I said at the start of the video. Skyla did a good job following Clay's example, as all 3 of her team members have a typing to go along with flying. However, due to Charon already using a Pidove, I would switch Unfazant with Sigilif. Unfazant is a pretty decent Pokemon, but it doesn't come close to Sigilif. I used this Mon for the first time in a previous video actually, and I can say it's a freaking beast. Sigilif's special attack is amazing, and it can learn a bunch of great TMs. Not to mention, the addition of Sigilif would probably make this battle much more challenging, which is something I like to see. Bryson is unfortunately restricted to the 3 Pokemon that he already has. That is, unless I decided to give him a Kyurem, but I'm not gonna do that. It sucks because his team isn't that strong, and Ice types already have a ton of weaknesses. Cryogonal can't take a physical hit to save its life, and I hoped Vanillish could be evolved, but that doesn't happen until level 47. Anyways, I think I see why Bryson got taken out of Pokemon Black and White 2. So can someone explain to me why Drayden and Iris own 2 Pokemon from the same evolution line when Dino was sitting right there as a 3rd Dragon type? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Honestly, I'm tempted to give them an illegal Zweilous in order to boost the difficulty, because I've never found this battle to be that tough. Our Unova journey comes to an end with Marlin, the Water-type user. Similar to Skyla, he comes close to having a perfect team, but Wailord is from Generation 3, so it's gotta go. Instead, I would give Marlin a Samurai and a Simipour. This is the 8th and final gym, so I think he deserves to have more than 3 Mons. They aren't dual types, which kind of stinks, but Samurai and Simipour still work out just fine. I was also thinking about adding a Seismitoad, but then I remembered that Clay already uses a Palpitoad. Well, there you have it. That's how I would modify each gym leader's team from the Unova region. Let me know what you thought about these adjustments, or what changes you would make in the comment section below. It's kinda funny, because a lot of these gym leaders already use Pokemon from the Gen 5 games, so that cut out some of the work for me. Anyways, if you enjoyed, then be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell to see more, as it helps out the channel a ton. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, deuces!